Many of us make resolutions to be more content in our lives. Maybe it's to appreciate the little things, or maybe it's just to be happy. Well, author Kristi Ling has made a career of helping people do just that, and she's here today to teach us some happiness strategies. All right, welcome, Kristi.
Thank you.
Now, for those of us who want to say this year we're going to be happier, where do we begin?
Well, I always say, and there's a whole section in my book on this, that the easiest place to begin is with making over your mornings.
Okay.
So this is so important, because how many of us are starting the day, hitting the snooze button, and feeling grouchy about all that we have on our plate, right?
Multiple times.
The snooze button is not your friend. What we want to do is make over your mornings. Think positive about the day. Do a little morning practice, like a 2-minute meditation, or going outside and doing some deep breathing into the fresh air. There's a great tip of smiling for 30 seconds, even when you don't feel like it. If you're grouchy and you force yourself to smile, you will actually change your brain chemistry to feel better.
I see some of your tips that were popping up now that come from you. I am horrible about in the morning. First thing I do is check my email.
Not bad.
And I see you saying not to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Instant stress, right?
Right. But I admit, I used to be in the habit of doing this, grabbing your smartphone when the alarm goes off and flipping through emails, right? It's not good to start the day that way. It fills your head with everybody else's agenda instead of your own.
Yeah.
Wow.
So give it a little bit of time, allow yourself to wake up, have your coffee or your tea, go out and step into nature for a couple of minutes, and then get your day started. It will give you momentum for the whole day. You will feel good, and you'll be in your A game so much more often.
So much sense. That's so
It
practical.
does.
I'm doing it tomorrow morning.
I'll email you to remind you.
Well, plus it's doable, because then you're not focusing on happiness for 24 hours, a day. It's just, if you can just make those first couple of hours positive and uplifting, it will give you the momentum. It's like rocket fuel for your day.
You know why I like that? Because that is actually a qualitative thing, and I can look and say, instead of somebody just saying, yeah, well, smile or be happy, like I can actually say, okay, I will not go on my email for the first 30 minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
A simple goal.
And I like the other thing about smiling for a couple seconds.
Yeah, it
Well,
works.
you mentioned in your book, Operation Happiness, and in it you talk about being happy is not just a choice. You think differently about it. Tell me about that.
This is so important to me to get across, because you always hear happiness is a choice. All you have to do is choose it and you'll be happy.
I say that all the time.
Happiness is a choice. And for the people who are choosing happiness and they're going, well, I'm choosing it, why isn't it happening for me, right? It's not just a choice. It only begins with a choice. It's actually a skill. And it requires action. So like any choice, like I could choose to be a billionaire, but I don't think my account's going to change much tomorrow morning unless I start working really hard toward that. So happiness is the same way. You have to back up the choice with action.
It's like patience, huh?
Yeah.
Well, what's an example of that? Kristi, what's an example of that?
So an example of that is knowing what works for you as far as activity. So Aristotle said happiness is a state of activity. It's a great quote to remember, because when you want to feel happy, you have to actually do happiness, like it's a skill. So know what works for you. Know the little things and the practices that lift you up and make you feel good, and consciously and deliberately invite them into your life.
Well, one of the things...
Doing happiness.
It's similar to what you're talking about. One of the things that I've been made aware of is this whole idea of the blue mind, the effect of water. Like you talk about morning practice. If you expose yourself to water every day, look at it, swim in it, go to it, stand it, touch it, it makes everything about your life better.
Does
and
the
there are all
shower
this,
count?
shower sort of counts.
I would say yeah.
Do you think that makes sense?
A shower is a great thing. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yes, no, it makes absolute sense. And different people are different. So for somebody it might be water. Like for me, definitely water. I mean, I'm going to be doing that while I'm here at Sarasota. I plan to swim in the ocean a lot. But for somebody else, it might be meditation. For somebody else, it might be more connection with family and friends is what lifts them up. So knowing what works for you and then being really deliberate about inviting that into your life, it makes a huge difference.
Well, I'm making a decision now to drive past the water of the bay. Instead of taking a shortcut and just not seeing it, actually driving so I see the water. And it's like it's a conscious choice.
Your book and all the tips in it has been getting really good reviews. In fact, Success Magazine just listed it as one of the best books of 2016, and helping people be successful. How do you feel about that?
That was a wonderful surprise and an honor. And as far as happiness making you more successful, absolutely. And there are studies on this. People that focus on happiness and people that are happy can be up to 31% more productive, in their day and in their life. If you work in sales and you focus on happiness, your sales will increase, so you can actually make more money, which is a good thing.
Which
So
makes you happier.
Right.
this is a good thing. So happiness is actually revenue generating. If you're a small business owner, balance out your life a little bit more. Don't get overwhelmed and be a workaholic, because happiness can make you more successful.
And your book shows that there is data, there is proof that companies are bringing in and people to.
Yeah.
Oh yes,
that too.
Chief Happiness Officers. How great! How cool of a job is that?
I do that. I think I'm a happy person.
Google has a Chief Happiness Officer to make sure employees are happy, because then productivity goes up. So it makes complete sense.
I love that. What is
this is a
the
great
quote from
idea.
Aristotle again? Aristotle?
Aristotle, happiness is a state of activity,
Yeah.
I like
which,
that.
which
that's
tells
true.
us
I
that
like
it's
that
a
a
skill.
lot.
It's something you do, not just feel.
Do
All right,
happy.
well, you guys can get more information about Kristi and her book. She actually will be signing them this Saturday from 5 to 6:30 at Bookstore 1 in downtown Sarasota. Or, of course, you can go to her website, KristiLing.com. Next, we'll be playing a game about books and movies. Stay with us.